in Bahrain this weekend as protests take place in the country. Nigel Geach is a sports marketing and sponsorship expert. Afternoon, how important is the Bahrain Grand Prix to the sport of F1? Rather, we'll do the politics in just a moment.
Okay. The sport of F1, well, is part of a series. So the Bahrain Grand Prix is one of 20 races throughout the season, which lasts for about 10 months. So it's part of that series. It is important because it's in the Middle East. The Middle East is an important area for business and also for fans. And Bahrain in the past has done a wonderful job in promoting a Grand Prix, as much as Abu Dhabi has. And so it's a very important part of the world for sport, as you've seen from the World Cup and other major sporting events which have happened in the Middle East.
So, Nigel, to the politics, and well documented what is happening in Bahrain, is Formula One in this instance being used as a political tool, do you think?
I hope not. I hope that sport is not being used at all as a political tool. We've seen it in the past being used as a political tool with Olympics boycotts and things like that. And I think it would be a great shame that if sport was being used as a political tool, and especially Formula One. I don't think it is. I think it's obviously a very sad situation in Bahrain. And I think that the FIA, the governing body, and the Bahraini government or the promoters of the race have tried to work together to come to a satisfactory conclusion.
Of course, the next thing we have to talk about then is the money. There is an incredible amount of money in Formula One, and certainly the ruling leaders of Bahrain have money in F1.
Yes, that's true. There is a large amount of money in Formula One, and that is why the spectacle is as it is and brings a lot of joy and interest to probably many millions of people across the world. And so it is true, there is a lot of money. There is a lot of money in professional sport. It's not only Formula One, football, tennis, golf, etc., etc.
Bernie Ecclestone said yesterday, he was out with the Crown Prince who we're looking at there, and the Crown Prince says you legitimise the protest if we call off the Grand Prix, you give them more ammunition. And Bernie Ecclestone actually stepped up then and said he thought the rulers of Bahrain were silly, that was his word, silly for going ahead with it because it has given them, the protesters, more of a voice. I mean, there's both sides to the arguments, but the outcome
absolutely.
has been the international media has focused on events in Bahrain. That's what sport can do.
Yes, I suppose that's right. I mean, sport is a major international phenomena. So it's a little bit of a no-win situation, because if you didn't go, there would be a situation whereby people would say, well, sport, politics is coming into sport, and people will object to that. It's a very difficult situation, and let's just hope that nothing untoward happens in a big way. I think a protester died last night, I saw on your news, which is obviously very, very sad, and goodness me, nobody would want ever anything to happen like that. So let's just hope that the decision that was made was the correct one, whether it can be a correct one, and the race goes ahead, as the qualifying is going ahead as we speak, in a satisfactory way.
Nigel, very interesting. Nigel Geach.
Thank you.
Now, George Osborne has been accused of dodging a parliamentary vote by agreeing to lend an extra £10 billion to the International Monetary Fund.